Looking back over my life, really the last 20 years, I realized that for a lot of it, I was there, but not really there. This is what disassociation and numbness really can look like, where you're actually present, but not really present. And I think it also was a form of numbness. It became survival, honestly and truly, like where I withdrew inside myself because it became the safest place for me, where I just was in this pattern of self sacrifice, self betrayal, and looking outside of myself for external validation because I think I was trying to figure who I really was who I really was. And I think at the root of it was that I just wanted people to care for me the way that I cared for them, and to be loyal to me, and to really live with me, like walk alongside me. And no matter how hard I tried to bring that into alignment in my life, it just was not working. And so when things, that I would take on would just explode, or as I was kind of navigating life, or even being a single mom raising these children by myself, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure while in law school, while working and traveling, I withdrew within myself. And I think about, we definitely had moments where I was more present and we had fun. We would sing, we would go to church, like definitely those times. But when things got really dark and I lost both my parents within a year of each other, and then I got pregnant with twins, and I was cycling in and out of very toxic relationships, I definitely was present and not present. But through that experience, and now today, I can see that in myself, and there is no time but now. And I am definitely committed, and I hope that if this is at all resonating with you, that you too will to say, okay, I know kind of where I was at, but I know I don't need to do that all the time. There are certain times where we definitely need to kind of go inside, especially when the world is swirling around us, to stabilize. And silence can be powerful when we're resetting, when we're grounding. But to stay there all the time, or to be scrolling on your phone all the time, and I am so guilty, y'all, of this. My family talks about me. I have to get out of that habit, because for the longest, I lived rent free in my mind, like, talking to myself, digesting things. But like now that I'm at a place of peace and more stability in my home environment, and grounded in myself, and I have people in my life who I trust and care for, and I am more mature as a woman and a mother, I am choosing to be more present and engaged emotionally, and mentally, spiritually, physically, like in terms of activities and having fun with my kids and my sister and my niece and all the people in my life, my friends, and those loved ones that I care for, and like making sure when I'm with them that I'm engaged in the conversations and I'm paying attention to them, and that when they're asking me for something, that I'm really listening to what they want versus like auto script of like what I think they should have, just to be responsive, just to say that I'm responding. And that I flip the whole narrative in terms of priorities for me, because like being present in myself spiritually really giving myself integration time in the morning and night and in the middle of the day for breathing, for grounding, for praying, for journaling is very important that I am present and that I allow myself to feel how I feel throughout my body and to give myself moments for recalibration and correction throughout the day if it's needed, and that I am present in the people's lives that I love. Like, so, trying to help them through whatever they're going through, whatever they tell me they are, and like really showing up for them in the way that they need me to, but also being honest with them about what I need, right? And not withholding how I feel, because all that will do is lead to my frustration and my resentment toward them when I just need to communicate better. And also being present in, especially for my younger boys, actively raising them, and for my older girls, launching them as young women into their lives. So, yes, and for my divine spouse, of the future, you know, also preparing myself presently be that to be that woman, to be that loving partner, um, of my family, of my living unit, of my home environment, of our little community that then will flow into, you know, hopefully the world. Like, I feel like that's how we really build up flow, y'all. That's how we build up new communities, is starting internally, starting to your loving ones, your family unit, then flowing that into the community, and then flowing that into the cities and towns and villages, then flowing that up and up and up and up. But being present, being not like lost in thought in the past about everything that you could or should have done, not in the future about what might happen or what may happen, but like really right here, right now, focusing, especially when you're in the moment. And so, if you have your loved ones saying, "Why are you always on the phone? Why are you not paying attention to me?" Like, try, y'all. And like, I struggle with it too, because like I'm doing a lot of work for new business I'm gonna launch for spirituality. And so, as I am in the phone a lot, and I am working a lot outside of my 9 to 5, because I cannot work while I'm working. And so for me, and this is for you aspiring entrepreneurs, I am an aspiring entrepreneur as well. Like, it is about balance, like hard balance. Like, give yourself time to wake up, move. I'm not been successful in that yet. I'm trying to be. But also making sure you're going to bed. And so, like, if you're in a relationship or if you're married, um, once you get the kids to bed, like, try to have a structured routine. Like, go to bed, like, get off that phone by like 9. Again, I'm struggling, I'm working on it, because I know I've never been married, but if I am eventually married in the physical one day, that I will have those boundaries so that I am present with my partner. And so, I think it's all about balance, and I know it's harder said than done. There is like, let's move away from just surviving and functioning and start living. Like, allow yourself to actually be present, and feel. Allow yourself to move beyond just awareness to and reacting, to actually moving from awareness to understanding, and hopefully wisdom, and integrating whatever you are seeing in your life and growing, so that you can have better outcomes and more growth, but also showing up not just for yourself, but for the people who mean a lot to you in your lives, and not checking out when they need you the most, and helping to activate your heart chakra, and to remove that hard numbness from your spirit and your heart. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that it's relevant. If you find yourself drifting off and just surviving and not living, this is your call.